Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the structure of employment and its changing profile. As economic growth takes place with the setting up of more industries and offices, employment opportunities shift from agriculture to industries and services. People move from rural to urban areas in search of better prospects. There is expansion of private sector with a faster growth in the informal sector. This can be better understood with the sectoral employment and its trend and growth prospects. There has been a shift of labor from agriculture to industries and services in India. The contribution of primary sector employment to the total workforce has been coming down very slowly, from 57% in 1999 to about 51% in 2007 and to only 42.74% in 2017. It is evident that still a large proportion of people depend on the agricultural sector for employment. In India, along with expansion of services and industries, agriculture sector has to grow at a faster rate for GDP and employment to grow. Targeting faster growth in GDP by doubling of agricultural growth will at least ensure that the unemployment rate falls somewhat. However, even this modest goal implies that the rate of growth of non-agricultural employment would need to accelerate. Also, if the high unemployment among the educated youth is to be reduced and if quality of overall employment is to improve, there must be a robust growth in the organized sector employment. In other words, we can say a massive reversal is required from the negative employment growth during the last decade. When we talk about the structure of employment, we talk about public and private sector. When we look at the growth in organized sector, it reveals that public sector had a greater share than the private sector in the total employment. But with increase in privatization, it is clear that share of organized sector in total employment falls even further from the present level since private sector has greater share of the unorganized sector. And because of this, casualization of workforce is increasing and emerging is as the status of employment. The share of self-employed has fallen while casual wage laborers' share has increased. Regular salaried employees' share has remained almost stagnant. This trend clearly reveals the casualization of workforce as share of casual wage work is rising. In rural areas, farmers are selling their lands and seeking work as casual labor in nearby road construction projects. This also occurs when factories and mills shut down and workers lose their jobs. To conclude, by 2020, total employment in agriculture is falling to less than 45%, while the share of the services sector is increasing proportionately. Share of organized sector is falling even further. Labor is moving from self-employment and regular salaried employment to casual wage work. This is also creating a trend of informalization of workforce. It is a matter of concern that the quality of employment over the years is falling in India. A job should offer adequate remuneration as per the contract, security of work, good working environment with facilities for the workers such as sanitized restrooms, safe drinking water, and precautions against health and life hazards. Even social security allowances such as gratuity and pension and retirement benefits are to be taken care of. All these will ensure increase in efficiency and better standard of living. However, these practices are prevalent only in the organized or the formal sector in India. The unorganized sector or the informal sector does provide jobs but may or may not follow labor laws and the rules and the regulations prevalent in the country. In the organized sector, workers' wages, work conditions, and terms of work are protected, while this may not be so in the unorganized sector. Workers would all like to work in the organized sector, but jobs in the organized sector are limited. What is to be noticed here is that such employment opportunities have been declining in India. As mentioned earlier, in HDR 2018, it has been revealed that only for 24.1% of pensioners as percentage of employment avail the social security benefits. So the unorganized sector or the formal sector is growing at a much slower pace than the unorganized sector or the informal sector in the economy. So this condition, these trends which are now prevailing in the economy like India, this is called informalization of employment. The whole trend is known as informalization of employment, and the unorganized sector contributes approximately 92% of the country's employment. And greater labor power is increasing the production as compared to the organized sector. Thank you. Employment opportunities shift from agriculture to industries and 4% in 2017. It is evident that still a large proportion of people depend on the agricultural sector for employment.